at the 2015 Great Lakes NXL Open. I'm Matty Marshall, Steve Rabikoff, Todd Martinez. Man, we have an awesome quarterfinals for you right now. So let all your friends know that the best paintball players on earth are about to throw down. We were going to find out who's going to win this first NXL event. And man, the teams that got here to Sunday morning's competition had to fight hard in order to do it. That's the way it always is. But, you know, particularly the team that's about to play right now against San Antonio Xfactor. San Diego Dynasty did not have the best day yesterday. San Antonio Xfactor, they looked great. So it's Xfactor, Dynasty, and Tampa Bay Damage and Edmonton Impact here in this first set. So it's a split deck system. You're going to be watching two games at the same time. And then the next set after that, it's Houston Heat, Los Angeles Ironmen, and Infamous and 187 Crew. So 187 Crew making Sunday here, 2 events in a row. So boys, how you feeling about this one? Xfactor, Dynasty. Rab, what do you got?
We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Dynasty, like you said, squeaked their way in, but these guys are a Sunday team. They know what to do on Sunday, and I'm sure they're going to clean up a little bit what they did over the weekend and get it right. So, and Xfactor, they've been playing great the whole weekend. They're 4-0, and like we talked about again, any one of these teams in this bracket can win this event. So this game, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 1-point game. I'm not going to say who's winning, though. Everyone keeps asking predictions. Anyone can win this event.
That's very true. Todd, who do you got?
Well, if, and this is a big if, San Antonio Xfactor continues to play the way that they were playing, and if Dynasty plays the way that they've been playing, it's going to be Xfactor all the way. But today is a new day. What happened in the first 2 days does not matter at this moment. All that matters is what happens right here on this field right now, Sunday morning.
Off the break, San Diego Dynasty doing their doubling up the back center, standard plan, which we saw. And, you know, Dynasty, they played best, I felt, when they were able to attack and get out wide. But it is tough, man. This is a difficult field layout. There's lots of open lanes as we see Dynasty losing a body early here. And then now we're looking at Grayson Goff and Archie Montemayor. Grayson Goff and Archie played great to help San Antonio Xfactor get to this position. And Xfactor is one of those teams that has had a lot of success in the professional paintball ranks, but they've also been inconsistent. They know that. It's very hard to stay at the top. So right now, Xfactor battling against Dynasty. Both teams have dropped a body. 15 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in this 16 minutes of regulation time.
Blake Yarber, Ryan Greenspan dies out of that big Dorito on the first Dorito. Blake Yarber fills it quickly, gives Dynasty a little bit of spacing. Derek Jordan's out here, bumps into the Dorito side wedge for Xfactor. He's got Colt Roberts with him. Archie Montemayor is making moves over there on the snake side. Billy Bernaccio got shot on the break, but there goes Archie all the way into the 50'd snake.
Todd, I love how Archie has been fearless on the attack on the snake side. Archie is an incredibly versatile player. He's what we call a 2. You have the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s. The 1 is the first attacker, 2, the second to go, and the 3rd, the 3 guy. That's that back bunker guy, the guy that just rolls his gun for most of the time and does damage control. And right now it looks like Dynasty going to be throwing that towel in because Archie got into the snake. Derek Jordan for Xfactor pushing up here and back on the D side, backed up by Colt Roberts. And nice work also by Grayson Goff, holding it down in the back, helping Archie out, getting up on that snake side, Todd.
Yeah, Archie getting into that snake over there. Toasted up Brandon Short and Yosh Rao out of those back center bunkers. Archie has just been doing a good job, whether he loses his front guy or not, getting over there on the snake side and getting kills for Xfactor. This is what we've seen from Xfactor all weekend.
All weekend.
And here they do, just continuing once again.
And like you said, that consistency, how they're going to come into Sunday, and they're still doing what they did on Friday and Saturday. So long way to go, but they're still doing the same thing.
Now we have Tampa Bay Damage taking on Edmonton Impact. Impact struggled as well yesterday. They lost to Boom, who they were heavily favored against Boom. So Impact's really going to have to pick it up. But hey, man, it's tough when you let those good teams squeak into Sunday. More often than not, they come out firing. And here goes Impact. Justin Cornell up to the center off the break. Impact losing a body there towards the snake side, Todd.
Yeah, Impact losing Justin Cornell up there, going to the A. They got 1 kill on the break. But Jacob Edwards out here in the Dorito 1, mirrored up with Chad Bougere. Joshua Met getting out to the little mini wedge on the Dorito side next to him. Timmy Prope still in the back center, doubled up with Jason Edwards for Tampa Bay Damage. There's Daniel Holiday on your screen in the snake side tower, playing heads up. Here comes Chad Bougere, making a bump up to the inside Dorito. Still got help behind him.
On your screen right now, Edmonton Impact. This is a shot from towards the D side.
There goes Daniel Holiday for Tampa Bay Damage walking off. Chad Bougere and Joshua Met.
Yeah, Joshua
doubling
Met.
up guns on the Dorito side for Impact.
Full shooting at this player on your screen right now. Number 31, where Tampa Bay Damage, Jason Edwards, his brother, Jacob Edwards, his brother Jason, really saved the team in the offseason. There was not going to be a Tampa Bay Damage this year, and they would have ended their legendary run, but Jason Edwards saved the day and kept the team together. So now there he is on his screen, getting shot out of his spot. So uncharacteristic, death in his bunker. You don't want to see these guys dying out of their positions, and there goes another one, Jacob Edwards. He gets peeled off, and here comes Edmonton Impact, going to score this first point.
Point approved.
So nice quick work by Edmonton Impact, controlling those lanes. They got a real good break, and then just slowly but surely they were able to shoot out Jason Edwards out of his bunker, and then take Jacob Edwards out and make those quick moves. Nice work. You know, they sent Justin Cornell all the way up the center off the break. I'm wondering how much that center is going to come into play here. Throughout Friday and Saturday's competition, we saw guys like John Woodley from Chicago Aftershock, who unfortunately was not able to make it here to Sunday, but certain players from certain teams were attacking that center a little bit more, so I'm just kind of wondering you guys' thoughts on how much that center was going to come into play. The reason why is because so many of these teams were getting out wide to find success, starting in the pocket and then pushing out wide.
I think that more teams will attempt to hit that this morning. We'll see. Here's Xfactor going right through the middle of the field.
I think the center move is always there. I don't think the center move is going to be the defining characteristic of the team that wins out here. It's going to be whatever team is able to get out wide and be successful getting out wide and controlling from the outside in.
Looks like Colt Roberts getting taken out for San Antonio Xfactor. And there's Billy Bernaccia trying to shoot towards the snake side. And, you know, when you see Billy in the stand-up center, that means that Xfactor didn't have a very good break. They're down a body right now. Billy does not want to get trapped in that spot.
Oh, and as soon as Xfactor lost that Dorito side, Dalton Vanderbilt made a quick move down to Dorito 2 here to get down this Dorito side. And here goes Archie out to this Dorito corner. See if he makes it. He does.
And there's Marcelo backing up Dalton. He moves over as Xfactor moved over. And so Dalton and Marcelo both shooting cross field. No one looking down that D side here. Because there's only one body really for Xfactor, and it's I think that might be Dixon. Now it's Archie in the back corner bunker, Archie Montemayor. So Billy Bernaccia is trying to fight to get out here on this snake side of the field, but losing bodies.
Yeah, Archie with that huge fill from the back center after he lost his outside guy, once again making ridiculous fills and making them happen. Saving Xfactor out here as they got Dalton and Marcelo both trying to push down this Dorito side. Marcelo cuts from the Dorito 1 to the inside Dorito. Dalton Vanderbilt in that wedge shooting across the field. Grayson Goff's up in that center. If Dalton Vanderbilt comes up one more bunker, it's going to get really tight in there for Grayson Goff. But still Billy Bernaccia in the snake side temple. He's going to look across the field real quick to try and help out Grayson Goff. Marcelo trying to call a kill on Archie. Archie asking for a check. He might be hit. Referee going to come in. Michael Kovar gets shot for Xfactor, so he comes walking off.
Now on your screen, Billy Bernaccia was able to get over a little bit, so he's at that insert bunker on the snake side, but Grayson Goff dies in that center, so that's not going to help Billy out, because Billy's going to be forced to look towards the D side, because Marcelo Margot and Dalton Vanderbilt are making moves over here on the D side, but Billy feels that it was a better move to get into Snake 1.
Absolutely a better move to get into Snake 1, and this is what we saw in the prelims. Archie and Billy Bernaccia pulling out low body situations for Xfactor. Archie over here now on the Dorito side with Billy and Snake 1 gives them a lot of spacing out wide. You know, usually pretty hard to get out to this Dorito side corner, but Marcelo finally makes his shot on Archie, and Archie walks off.
That was a huge kill from Marcelo Margot, his first tournament here with San Diego Dynasty, and he had a bad event in Dallas, the last one, so Marcelo really looking to prove, you know, his most consistent paintball player on the world status. I mean, Marcelo Margot was the most consistent paintball player for the past 3 years, and helping his new team out here, getting that kill, which pretty much sealed the deal at the end of that point. But full team effort from Dynasty. Good work by Dalton Vanderbilt to work smart angles over here and methodically push up here D side.
So here we got
damage to the right.
Yeah, you know, Damage, the way that they played their first game, you know, looked a little sluggish. The next 3 prelim games came out and played a lot more solid paintball. Been getting big performance from Jacob Edwards out here, really being aggressive on this Dorito side, getting kills. If Damage is going to do well, they're going to need Daniel Holiday to start stepping up and putting in some work like he normally does.
On the breakout, it's a 1-0 advantage right now for Edmonton Impact. 14-26, still on the clock, lots of time. Just getting going here in this match.
So Chad Bougere makes it out to the Dorito side corner for impact. He's got Nick Laval to the inside of him. Dave Baines shooting wide. 2 bodies walking off for Tampa Bay damage early.
And impact is down 2 as well, so it's 3-on-3 quickly.
Nick Laval gets out though and gets some spacing here with Chad. 2 bodies out wide. Timmy Probst takes a bouncer on top of the head. He comes out to the Dorito side wedge.
Now on your screen, you're looking at the lineup for Tampa Bay damage. 3-on-3. And those are the 3 bodies left alive for damage. They're locked in the pocket, so Impact has much better field position over here. D side, they've spread the field.
Daniel Holiday went up to the pin in front of the Dorito, Snake Side Tower to try and get an angle on Nick Laval over here on the Dorito side. So we got Holiday, Jason Edwards is in the Snake Tower, and Timmy Probst, the last 3 bodies for Tampa Bay damage. Chad Bougere wrapping around that Dorito 1. Dave Baines making a bump from the back center out to the Snake Side Tower. Chad Bougere wraps on the inside. Somebody gets a shot in on Timmy Probst. He comes walking off. Going to be tough for Daniel Holiday if Nick Laval makes this move up. Pack hunting right now, standing over the top of that cake here on the Dorito side, talking to Chad Bougere. Chad Bougere wrapping. Jason Edwards tries to make a fill back, and he gets shot on the fill.
Now Nick Laval to the 50-yard line. That is going to force Tampa Bay damage to concede the point. So strong work, Chad Bougere and Nick Laval here for impact. Also, Dave Baines holding it down in the center, rolling his gun. So now we're going to come back out here with this tie game between San Antonio Xfactor and San Diego Dynasty.
30 seconds.
So Tampa Bay damage,
20 seconds.
losing that one to impact. And you know, again, Tampa Bay damage, Virtue's been putting out a really awesome documentary series about Tampa Bay damage. So definitely want to head to PB Nation's YouTube channel and check that out. Fascinating story. Unfortunately, you know, our thoughts go out to Jerry Devereaux, who is paralyzed from the waist down, a member of Tampa Bay damage. So
Get well, Jerry.
tragedy start, you know, at the start of this year, fighting through that, able to make it here to Sunday. Now off the break.
Dynasty's down 1 player, Alex Frazier, going to the Snake 1, gets taken out, and Xfactor loses Archie on the break as well, so 4-4 immediately.
Yeah, huge kill for Dynasty to get Archie off the field. And it's also unfortunate that the veteran and captain of the team, Alex Frazier, is actually
Kyle Spica.
Yeah, Kyle Spica coming off early. So Spica coming off, the attacker on the Snake side of the field for Dynasty. So it's 4-on-4. It's all tied up at 1 apiece, 11:24 to go. Looking at Xfactor.
Derek
on
Jordan
your screen on the Snake side.
over here on the Dorito side. Derek Jordan got out wide to the small Dorito. Tried to put the pinch on Ryan Greenspan in the back center. Blake Yarber got out to the Dorito 1 though, and he's looking across the field, shooting at Kovar in the Snake insert. Derek Jordan wrapping around the outside of the Dorito wedge now, as Ryan Greenspan and Blake Yarber are both looking on the inside. Nobody shooting at Derek Jordan. He's got the freedom now to wrap around.
And that's, by wrapping there like that, that's going to make it real hard on Dynasty in the middle to start moving up that middle. Well, as I say that, here comes Ryan Greenspan to the Dorito 2, so
Here comes Derek Jordan to the 50-yard line for San Antonio Xfactor. He's in a real good position right now.
he's just got to play this right. You can't force it.
Yosh Rao finally switches his gun that way, so you know, good job by Yosh to pick up on that move. And now Jordan locked in a gunfight with Blake Yarber, who had a 10-minute gross major penalty, finally back out for his team. But it looks like Ryan Greenspan gets his head peeled off, so he's going to have to take the walk. Blake Yarber's still alive. Yosh Rao's still alive as well, but it's not looking good for Dynasty right now. Derek Jordan's in a real good spot here. D-side shooting at this guy on your screen, Blake Yarber.
And he's just got to, in that position, Maddie, he's just got to relax, take it easy, and just stay alive there. He can't force it. A lot of guys, when they get to this position, they start forcing it. He just needs to just do what he's doing, and it's working for him.
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
Derek Jordan chilled out in there, just shot towards the Snake side, and Blake Yarber tried to wheel and deal. He knew he was the last guy left alive over there as the bodies were dropping for Dynasty, and then Blake gets shot as well. So now it's just Brandon Short and the Snake for San Diego Dynasty.
The guy that opened up this game was Michael Kovar. Dives into that Snake, goes up to the 50, shoots Ryan Greenspan in the head. All of a sudden, all the bodies over here on the Dorito side start worrying about him. That allows Derek Jordan and Grayson Goff to have some freedom to pop up and really start rolling their guns on this Dorito side. And then they got another shot in on Blake Yarber over here and then came to close the game out
30
for
seconds.
San Antonio Xfactor.
Yeah, so a close match between these two teams. 1 point separates them, San Antonio Xfactor and Dynasty. And we're seeing a really good fight right now between these teams. You can tell that neither one of these teams came out flat. Looks like we have an audio update from the third member of our broadcast team, Lauren Kelly. Let's listen in.
Thanks, Maddie. After that last point, captain of Damage, Jason Edwards, went into the pit and basically was trying to figure out how they need to readjust their breakout to stay alive and get some kills. So we should see a different, safer breakout for them so they can try to get a point here on the board. Back to you.
Edmonton Impact, Tampa Bay Damage right now. Justin Cornell and Zach Yakimek doubling up that stand-up temple along with Rainey Stanzik. And there goes Cornell, dives underneath, or looks like he ducks underneath the stream and is able to make it up there clean, Todd.
Yeah, gets up into that cake behind the A and starts looking underneath, trying to get a shot in on that snake side tower. Damage still doubled up in that back center. Nobody out wide except for Jacob. Jacob sneaks underneath the gun. Does he? No. JC puts a ball in on Jacob, and Jacob walks off. So now that's whole side open with JC locking off, but Joshua Met gets shot in the hand over here on the Dorito side. Justin Cornell does not know his support guy died behind him. Comes back, switches over, looks towards the snake side of the A now. Brian Smith going hunting, looking for JC up here in the center tower. He's going to come up to the A, into JC's mirror. Let's see if he can get a shot underneath the A. Gonna back up. Oh, looks like got clipped in the pack from the inside. And Brian Smith has a hit on his pack.
He's asking for the ref for a check. See what's going on here. And he does get him.
Referee runs in, calls Brian Smith out.
Yeah, and
JC back to the A.
Still alive here in the A, so wheeling and dealing up there. And Brian Smith, he had to take that walk. So
it looks like another Damage player just got eliminated.
Yeah, disadvantage for Damage right now. Cornell going to be locking down that D side. Now he's going to switch his gun and help out. I think that is Zach Yakimek getting into Snake 1. Might have got shot out of there, so Zach Yakimek gets picked off. Now he's going to even things up a little bit here.
But he trades out what looks like Daniel Holiday, so.
Rainey Stanzak comes out of the back center, dives pop-up slide into Dorito 1 and grills up Timmy Probst in that Dorito side wedge. Spacing the field now, moving out to the outside. Here comes Jason Edwards on the play. He's coming to get Justin Cornell. Nobody's picked him up yet.
Smoke Justin Cornell. Nice move, and looks like a major penalty on Justin Cornell, which will clear out the last player, Rainey Stanzik, who was running up and about to get shot anyway. So nice work by Jason Edwards, the leader for Tampa Bay Damage, saving the day for his team here in this point. Going to make it a 2-1 game right now.
Absolutely. 1-on-3 situation. Jason Edwards shoots Zach Yakimek, runs up, bunkers Justin Cornell, and gets him a major. Jason Edwards, time and time again, man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
Very consistent player, Todd.
Sometimes he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go there.
Yeah. But the thing there, at the end of that major penalty, that's a 2-for-1 penalty. So it's you, the guy that got shot, and then 2 of your teammates. And I don't think that there was enough bodies to pull at the end of that.
No, there's only one body left to pull, Rainey Stanzak. So Impact should be starting down 1 body on the next point.
So unfortunate turn of events for Impact, and that's going to give Damage the power play here. But next up, we have Xfactor and Dynasty, and Xfactor with a slight lead over the boys in blue from San Diego. Dynasty.
10 seconds.
So Dynasty on, it's Xfactor on your screen. Derek Jordan coming towards this D side again. Archie Montemayor back out there, and Grayson Goff's having a tournament as well, along with Colt Roberts.
So it looks like all 5 alive on both sides. Ref running into the snake corner on the Xfactor side. Checking him, he needs clean, so it's still 5-on-5, Todd.
Yeah, 5-on-5 and a little bit of a conservative breakout here for Xfactor. And we're looking at Dynasty. They are also doubling up that back center. There was Xfactor. Now we're going to pan over and take a look at Dynasty's line. See that back center, that stand-up can is doubled up. And it looks like a body coming off. Michael Kovar getting shot here for San Antonio Xfactor. That's going to leave just Colt Roberts here towards the D side, but he's pushing forward anyway.
And as the weekend's gone on, we've noticed that more and more teams are starting to push this Dorito side. And as we say that, looks like Dynasty's just losing a lot. Like A-Rod is walking up the field. So, but Colt Roberts gets taken out as well.
Yeah,
so
Colt Roberts got shot out of his bunker, but also, sorry, that was Derek Jordan, not Michael Kovar that came off early. So no one over here, or there was no one until Archie came and filled. So Archie just all over the place trying to save the day, but he gets shot by, I think that was Marcelo Margot, or it was either, yeah, it was either Tyler Harmon or Marcelo Margot that got the shot on Archie. So, and here comes Marcelo Margot pushing up. Now you're looking at Michael Kovar, who's still alive in the snake. So Xfactor at a severe disadvantage, and Michael tactical retreat, gets out of the snake, so he's got a better fighting position. It's really tough to fight off your stomach there when you're in the snake and looking at a lot of bodies, and Dynasty stacking up this D side.
Here comes Dalton Vanderbilt up into the 50 Dorito. Referee running in to check out. Looks like Kovar, the last body. Billy Bernaccio over there actually in the corner as well. So Dynasty picking off bodies on the Dorito side, then pushing through the Dorito side.
And doing it from getting those points on the side that has the sun and a little bit of disadvantage there. So that's really positive for when you're winning on that side of the field. So, because it's tough, and the way we're going now is you start 2 on this side and switch to the other side. So it's not 3 or 1-2-1 anymore. So I think teams are digging that right now, that they don't have to sit over there on that 3rd point.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a it depends on the exact angle of the sun and where you're at on the field, you know. So, but yeah, in the mornings as the sun is rising, depending on what side of the field, sometimes you're looking into the sun, and yeah, it's tough, man. You get that glare in your eyes, it's tough to get that shot, and if you can't see, you know, who you're shooting at, it's kind of tough. But the sun's got up a little bit farther, and it's not that bad. Looks like a body for each team dropping here as Justin Rabikoff comes off for Edmonton Impact, and another body for Tampa Bay Damage comes off.
So Damage, or Impact, starting with 4 bodies. Justin Rabikoff taking the wide route up to the Dorito 1, but didn't really look to go as sharp as he normally does. Gets caught just as he came into the big Dorito right on top of the head. So that's going to put Impact at 3 bodies, but they make it out to the snake side corner. They have a body in the snake tower and 1 in the back center. But Damage, they have 2 bodies over here, Timmy Probst and Jacob Edwards gunning straight ahead on the Dorito side. They also get into the snake side temple, start shooting across the field at the back center. Try and put pressure. That's Daniel Holiday. There's Zach Yakimek on your screen, number 10. Rainey Stanzak kneeling down in the back center can, shooting at the snake side, trying to keep Daniel Holiday from getting in the snake.
Which, if Damage starts getting on that Dorito side, that's going to make things real difficult. And as we say that, Keith Brown gets taken out in that snake corner, so one of these guys is going to need to pop out to this Dorito side to slow these guys down, because now they're coming. As we say that, he goes out to the snake Dorito corner. Does he make it?
Rainey Stanzak makes it out. So does Zach Yakimek, making it out on the snake side. So Impact fills out from the back center towers out to the corners.
Yeah, that's
space out the field.
Try to slow the attack here coming from Damage, Todd.
That's definitely going to help on the cross now. These guys are going to have to tuck in, but Jacob Edwards coming through the middle of the field into that 50 Dorito now. Jason Edwards in the center tower. Timmy Probst in the outside mini Dorito, shooting down the wire. He's not going to see much from Rainey Stanzak down the wire, but Rainey gets picked off on the inside. He's going to come walking off the field, and Impact is going to throw in the towel.
So that's going to give Damage another point. It's going to be tied up at 2 apiece. About 8.5 minutes left in that game. Now we're going to see Xfactor and Dynasty, this game tied up. This is what we wanted to see here. Quarterfinals action, tied up. Both of these games that we're watching right now. And, you know, when people kept asking me too, Rab and Todd, you know, who's going to win? Who do you think's going to win? Give me your prediction. Give me your prediction. It's just so tough to tell. I mean, so many different elements come into play here. And who wants it more today? I don't know. I mean, I could make a strong case for every single team on this list. With the exception of maybe Ironman and 187 crew, I think that they're the underdogs today. But everyone else, the other 6 teams, you know, you can make a strong case that they're going to win. So it would be very cool to see the Ironman or 187 crew go far into this tournament.
Yeah, Matty, but, you know, we talked about this last night based on just how people were playing in the prelims, right? Today, like we said, today is a new day. You know, teams can make adjustments, come out here, you know, make mental adjustments, make game plan adjustments. And, you know, this could be a whole new ball game for the teams that weren't playing well during the prelims. But it's up to them to make those decisions, make those choices,
and get it
come
done
out
today.
here and get it done. Exactly, Rab.
And Dynasty has made some adjustments in their players, where they're playing on the field compared to yesterday and the day before, and we talked about that those guys will make the adjustments, and they are a Sunday team.
One of the things.
Oh, Ryan. No, somebody.
One of the things we always say, Todd, is that looks like
Somebody
Jordan.
just zapped Derek Jordan right in the pack.
It wasn't Ryan Greenspan because he wasn't shooting. I think it was either.
Oh, there's a body in the outside. It's probably Blake Yarber.
Yeah, it was either Blake.
Yeah, Blake Yarber in the Dorito side corner.
Yeah, but looks like Ryan Greenspan's playing the front guy over here on the D side, and Blake's going to come back him up now. So Ryan and Blake right next to each other there on your screen. There's Blake Yarber to the left and Ryan Greenspan to the right. Ryan wrapping around there towards the sideline, and then Blake coming outside of his bunker. You can see he's getting froggy. He wants to get up that field. And then now on the flip side, Billy Bernaccia in the snake for San Antonio Xfactor. He's shooting down the sideline. From snake 2, you have a real good shot cross field. If Ryan Greenspan were to get to the 50-yard line, Billy would have a shot on him cross field from the inside of the bunker that he's in there.
Looks like Kyle
Dynasty.
Spica just lost a player. Dynasty just lost a player. Looks like Kyle Spica. But as we said, Ryan Greenspan makes it up to the 50 Dorito, and he's going to start putting shots across the field.
And there's, you can see Archie pick up his body. Archie head checked over there and realized, hey, Ryan just made it up. Now Billy Bernaccia, he makes his move to the 50-yard line. Another body. Yeah, so that body for Dynasty walked off. Ryan Greenspan, though, in real good field position over here on the, looks like Billy's coming off for San Antonio Xfactor. So now that puts Xfactor at a severe disadvantage here. Dynasty in the driver's seat. Here comes Blake Yarber to back up Ryan Greenspan, and Grayson Goff fighting for his life over here. And the towel is going to get thrown in. Point conceded here from San Antonio Xfactor, which is going to give Dynasty a 1-point lead.
So after Xfactor jumps out to a lead, Dynasty comes right back. Check out this replay.
30 seconds.
Here's Billy Bernaccia coming into the 50 wedge over there on the snake side. He's going to pop up.
You can see the
Tries to
movement.
come out on the
17
inside
seconds.
to shoot at that snake tower. Right when he comes out right here, boom. Right in the top of the loader.
So was that Yosh there in that stand-up?
10
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was Yosh. Yosh's shots, as always, on, but man, he's a tough guy to gunfight. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly real quick before the start of this point.
Hey, Maddie, and the Pit Impact and Bart Yakimek, they were just talking about Damage's snake corner. They
Oh,
said if they
because
can kill the snake corner off the break, then they feel like they can get all the points moving forward. We'll see if they can do that. Back to you.
Yeah, we will see. So 8 minutes, 30 seconds to go, and it looks like, was that penalty?
Penalty and just dropping bodies. So we're going to find out what's going on. But that was a quick point right there.
Yeah, so a penalty for damage, and looking frustrated over there. And who was that? That's Paul Everett, yeah.
He's got his hands up, but
Everett
he's
shocked.
trying to figure out what's happening.
Yeah, Everett standing there in shock, wondering what happened. Well, what happened was got a penalty, and your team just lost a very quick point to Impact. So we're going to reset here. It's going to be Xfactor and Dynasty again. Very close games, both of these. 1 point separates these teams. We'll be right back after these messages. Xfactor on your screen. Bernaccia and Montemayor here. This is the angle from the snake side. Bernaccia stopping early, gunning up down that lane there. You can see that big, look at that, how big that open lane is. That's what the guys on the snake side have to run through. Looks like a body dropping for both teams, but up into the center is Colt Roberts, and he's gonna also shut down, you can see there. And now he switches his gun towards the D side, but Grayson Goff gets shot in the side of his head, so he walks off. Bodies dropping for both teams. Looks like 2 bodies from Xfactor have dropped. So it's going to be up to Colt Roberts to try to produce kills in that center of the field. And Colt's all over that place. First, he was shooting towards the snake side. Then he switched his gun to the D side. Now he's looking underneath it, and he's going to do a little bump back. You can see their left-hand portion of your screen. Colt Roberts now backing up off that center, shooting towards the snake side. And look at Dynasty's line. Dynasty has 2 bodies stuck in that backhand. Marcelo Margot wanted to get out, but scared that he's first lane. And Oh, God. Poor Colt Roberts.
He's
He hears
wheeling,
that-
dealing in the front, and the guys just can't stay alive behind him.
Well, everyone dies behind him, like you said, and you can see by his body language, he's up there playing. He hears the point concession. He does that look over his shoulder like, whoa, wait, is that
going on
us?
here?
I'm all
Hey.
the way at the 50, man. So Dynasty, so Colt must have been a little confused in there as to why his team was conceding the point. Well, the reason why was had a bunch of guys die out of their spots.
20
So that's
seconds.
going to give another point to Dynasty. So a little bit of breathing room for Dynasty in that one, but still a lot of game time left. Now we're going to watch damage play impact here.
10 seconds.
Looks like Holiday is going to be coming here towards the snake side. Tampa Bay damage. Edwards and Probst guns off the break. So doubling up that back center. Another running and gunning all the way out. But gets shot. So it looks like Jacob Edwards having a hard time living against the off the break shots of Edmonton Impact.
And that Dorito 1 is a difficult run to make anyways, and with the way these guys are doubling up back center, it's even harder. So
You got to vary it up. That's how you make it in there consistently.
you get, like you said, you got to change it to the corner,
Yeah.
go into the wedge.
You got to go straight into that Dorito. You got to take the deep route, out and up. Got to go short, dive across.
So damage down 1, but they are in good position at the wedge on the Dorito side.
And here comes Justin Rabikoff attacking up the middle for Edmonton Impact, getting into that center tower. Chad Bougere slow playing it for Edmonton Impact. He comes into the pin, wraps around real quick, puts a stream in on the back center, then gets to the inside Dorito.
Todd, got to be kind of a weird game here for Chad Bougere. Chad Bougere spent his entire career with Tampa Bay Damage, the team he's playing against right now, and now pushing up here on the D side of the field. Chad Bougere trying to kill a bunch of his former teammates here. And now Brian Smith. And that move is matched and actually exceeded. It looks like he might have made it into the snake. And there goes Brian Smith to get into the snake as well. So both Impact and Damage have a body in the snake, but you see a running referee coming over and another body dropping as Timmy Probst got center punched in his goggles, and that is going to force Tampa Bay Damage to concede the point, though they still had looked like 2 players left alive.
That was Zach Yakimek over there that made that little stutter step dip into the snake. That was nice. A good angle that we saw there as he came across. That's twice now we've seen Zach Yakimek get into the snake and be effective, make a difference for Edmonton Impact.
So Impact and Dynasty, a little bit better than Damage and Xfactor here this morning, but again, there's a decent amount of time you can hear. Look at this replay, and that was Everett not able to make. I'm sorry, that was Jacob Edwards not able to make it into that spot. Under 5 minutes to go. Dynasty up by 2. 4-2 is the score. And on the breakout, looking at Xfactor, there's Colt Roberts and Dixon Yang. Dixon Yang had a couple awesome run-throughs up in the center. And Roberts moves up a spot, but it looks like Scotty Kemp
Tried to get to that same bunker that same move that Jacob Edwards is doing. That's a tough run, man.
Yeah, so Scott Kemp for San Antonio Xfactor has to leave early here as he was taken out. Now we're looking at some action over here, snake side.
Like Garber moving up to a
Billy Bernaccia into the snake for San Antonio Xfactor. Colt Roberts coming off early though as well. So
Xfactor's lost that Dorito side. They need to keep these guys alive over here, and they're having a hard time. And Dynasty's obviously got these lanes dialed in with the 4-2 lead. 4:12 left in this match.
yeah, Dynasty, you know, they're doing the double-double, backing up both those center bunkers, and then bringing another body out here towards the D side. Blake Yarber's already out on this side, but with this 2-point lead and just 4 minutes to go, it's really up to Xfactor, the bodies that are left alive, to try to make something happen. If not, then you know, Coach Ryan Brand for Xfactor is going to be forced to concede this point to give his team time to get back in this match.
Running ref.
They're only going to take what you give them at this point. Now Blake Yarber's still pushing forward, but it looks like Yosh Rao getting shot out. And that's the first time I think we've seen Yosh die out of his bunker in this match.
Blake Yarber looking for where that kill came from. Xfactor's over there in Snake 2. You can see the 2 bodies. That's Dixon on your screen right there. Dixon Yang in that back center trying to keep Ryan Greenspan and Blake Yarber from coming down the field and give his bodies over there on the Snake side some time to work. He's got Archie and then Billy over there. Billy's in Snake 2. sure he'd like to get into that snake. Dynasty fills the snake corner now to back up Kyle Spica. Oh, Billy getting shot out of the snake for Xfactor. They're short, but Ryan Greenspan gets shot.
But Blake Yarber gets a cross-field shot, so Blake Yarber going to town over here on the D side, even though he lost Ryan Greenspan behind him. There's another kill for Blake Yarber. Blake Yarber handling business here to put Dynasty up another point, and this is what I was talking about, as Xfactor didn't have a lot of bodies left, and you know that's a scary position to be in, down points and down bodies against Dynasty with not a lot of time left, because Dynasty's been there many times before. And if you don't concede the point, then you could have what just happened right now, which is more time comes off the clock. You're still down 3 anyway, and now you only have like 2.5 minutes to try to mount a comeback, which is possible. We saw some quick points. Impact tried to come back against Boom yesterday, Steve.
Yeah, they did it. Man, it almost got costly for them yesterday.
Yes, it did.
If Boom wins that game, they're not sitting here today.
I know, I know.
But hey, that's why it doesn't matter how you get to Sunday. It's what you do on Sunday.
Well, and we talked about this with San Diego Dynasty and Impact. Not the best days for them and yesterday and or in the prelims, but they made it in, and that's the thing. You give a good team a second chance, and sometimes they come out real hungry. So we've seen both, particularly Dynasty, win lots of tournaments coming into Sunday 2-2.
So Edmonton Impact loses a player on the break. And Tampa Bay Damage is taking the middle of the field right away.
So this is the problem when you do the double play. You lose one of your outside guys, you go up the middle, you don't risk anybody wide. Now you're bottled up in the center. Zach Yakimek tried to go to snake side tower and got shot. They fill it now from the back center, but Justin Cornell going up the middle. Now it's going to be tough to hold the locks and get out wide. No pressure from the outside. The outside guys are just going to wrap around, and there goes Justin Cornell getting pinched out of the middle. Rainey Stanzak is now the widest guy on the snake side, and he is shooting across the field towards the Dorito side. Nick Laval in the back center, Chad Bougere in that mini race bunker, but he gets shot right on top of the loader, and he comes walking off, so just 2 bodies left alive. Not sure when Impact's going to figure out that play is not going to work.
So now Impact only going to have a 1-point lead. Nice work by Tampa Bay Damage with 5 minutes and about 45 seconds to go to pull within 1 here.
Maddie, watch what's happens here. Impact, they get mowed all day through the prelims, doing that double safe play. They come out here, first couple points, get really aggressive on the Dorito side, go up big, start trying to play inside and protect their lead, and now Damage is starting to come back.
Yeah, that's not the play here. It's
no.
With this field, it's kind of deceptive. You see those 2 huge bunkers in the backfield, and you think, oh, okay, we've played fields like this before. Let's double it up. And some teams found a little bit of success like that, but guys find a way to make it out.
You have to hit your shots.
Yeah,
if you play the inside play, you have to hit your shots and then break. Yeah. Right away. Yeah. Right away.
And if you don't hit your shot,
you're screwed.
And you don't break, then you're stuck. And here we go. Dynasty gonna do the same thing here, doubling up, doing that double-double move. That means 2 guys in the stand-up can and 2 guys in the stand-up temple in the back, and then 1 out towards that wing. So right now, Xfactor on the flip side, knowing they have to push forward, they get Archie out here on the snake side, and they get, looks like Cole
Grayson,
up in the center.
Grayson looks on the center.
And Grayson up in the center.
And they take out this. 1. They take out Dynasty going to the snake.
You got to appreciate this. Alex Frazier getting shot. Marcelo Margot getting shot. Tyler Harmon shot.
Xfactor is doing exactly what you just said, Todd.
Yeah, and Alex Rodriguez is probably going to get a major penalty right here.
He's lucky he got a minor.
Yeah, definitely lucky to get a minor.
Well,
I don't know. By the time he pulled it, Dynasty might be starting with 4 there. Alex Rodriguez got shot in the pack and then turned around and started dealing, but it depends on if Dalton Vanderbilt was shot beforehand. The referees are over there discussing it right now. You see 4 and 10, and I think that signal is they're going to be starting down 1 body. The referees are talking about it, you see, because A-Rod there in the back center got shot in the pack, and the referee was coming over to pull him. Then was going to pull a penalty, and Dalton had already gotten shot, so he couldn't pull Dalton. So Dynasty maybe starting before. What I was going to say is you got to appreciate Archie Montemayor out here running up to that front Dorito saying it's time to handle business and get things done. He ran up there, recognized that they're doing the short play, and cut him off right at the very beginning of that point.
Maybe Lauren's got something for us. Lauren, what do you got?
Yeah, Maddie, Todd, as you said, A-Rod was shot in the pack, so it was a minor hit, and because they had no one to pull, Dynasty will be starting with 4 bodies on the next point. Back to you.
On the breakout here, Edmonton Impact. Still with a little lead here on Tampa Bay Damage. And looks like Impact throwing a body that way in the center as Justin Cornell gets chopped up trying to get to the 50-yard line, but Damage loses a body as well, snake side. And here comes Josh Wilmette over here on the D side of the field to help out Chad Bougier. So it's Chad Bougier and Wilmette, both of them shooting in front of them. It's a heads-up battle over here on the D side. Big Dave Baines in the back center on your screen right now.
Jacob Edwards actually makes it under 2 guns into the Dorito 1.
That was brilliant.
And now he's heads up with Chad Bougier. Josh Wilmette comes to the inside Dorito, takes a quick peek on the inside, then guns back up again. This is where Impact was having success earlier. Zach Yakimek still in the back center. He's helping out, looking this way as well. Timmy Probst sneaks out of the back center to give Jacob Edwards some support. Play heads up. Jacob Edwards looking both ways. He's going to try and make a bump out to the small Dorito. He does. Wilmette and Bougier both still playing straight ahead. Trying to gang up on Jacob. Jacob's
and they do hit him right on the loader.
Yep. Jacob Edwards tried to gun battle 2 people. Got overpowered, and now the widest body on the Dorito side is Timmy Probst in the wedge. Wilmette staying straight ahead. Bougier looking across the field. Yakimek protecting the snake side. There you see Wilmette on your left, Bougier on the right. There goes Justin Rabikoff making a move up to that front snake pin. Looking to come through the snake side of the field. Those are the 4 bodies. Yakimek makes a bump over to the snake tower to support Rabikoff. Damage with only 3 bodies. They have Jason Edwards in the back center.
And they just, Justin was running back, so he just went back to the tower.
Yeah, and another body, though, dropping for Tampa Bay Damage. And it looks like the towel is going to be thrown in for Tampa Bay Damage's Impact with the 1-point lead in just 3 minutes and 34 seconds. And the big body advantage is just going to sit in their bunkers as we've seen time and time again.
Todd said, they get away from that double stack in the back, and they get out there and play. And obviously, that's obviously going with all the teams, but some teams are playing the double in the back center really well. They're not.
Yeah. Well, we'll see
what we've seen.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Dynasty just did the same thing, Todd. You know, you just said that, and then they came out, they did the double-double play, let Xfactor get out wide. Xfactor was able to score a point. So we'll see if Dynasty goes back to that double-double move again, doubling up those back 2 bunkers, which is the safest play that you can run. You don't risk anybody out wide, but Todd, I think the point that you're trying to make for people that are unfamiliar with paintball strategy is it may seem safe, which you can understand why guys are doing that, but what happens is it becomes perilous if you can't make those shots and you let the guys get out wide, because you got to make that shot.
And if they get wide on the Dorito side here, it's pretty much lights out.
It is safe for the first 7-8 seconds.
Yeah.
Get out of there after the 10.
Real dangerous.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Denise. I'm from Velocity Paintball Park in San Diego, California. The customer service from Falcon is pretty much #1. Anytime we have an issue, they get right on it. If we have a particularly busy weekend and we're getting low on paint, Falcon's been available to us even on a Saturday evening. The paint is really good, really reliable, and we don't have any problems with it. If you're ever in San Diego, come on by and check us out. Come out and shoot some Falcon paintballs.
So here we go.
Yeah, so here we go, man. We'll see if Xfactor can get back into this match. Down by 2 with just 2 minutes to go. San Diego Dynasty and Xfactor. Xfactor pushing aggressive over here, snake side. Billy Bernacchi into snake. Michael Kovar to back him up. Bernacchi into notch 2. Kovar into notch 1. And here comes the push on the D side as well. But it looks like Derek Jordan gets taken out, and a minor penalty on, I think, might have been Yosh Rao. Uncharacteristic penalty for Yosh Rao, and it looks like Archie Montemayor is going to take full advantage of that. Yosh Rao's gun drops here from this side, and another body comes off, and here comes Archie Montemayor storming up this D side of the field, and now big move up in the center by Grayson Goff to stab the last player, and then he's going to wave off Archie, and what a quick point here for San Antonio Xfactor.
And again, playing double back center, playing defensive. You know they're coming. Todd.
It's Sunday, man. If you're scared, go to church. Don't come out here and try and win this tournament.
You
Well-
gotta play to win the game, man.
Yeah, I don't think that wasn't as conservative as a game plan as the point before for San Diego Dynasty, and it came down to that penalty. You know, I mean, before Yosh got shot, he took out Jordan, and I think that was Yosh that got that shot. He was shooting that lane, then he drew that penalty. So, you know, now Xfactor, man, pulling within one here with not a lot of time left. There was Jordan who got shot trying to get up on that D side of the field. But luckily for San Antonio Xfactor, RT Montemayor was still there along with Grayson Goff to finish that point out. But definitely the penalty hurt Dynasty. So now 2-point game here. A little bit more time left in this one. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. So can Tampa Bay Damage tie this game up? On the breakout, Edmonton Impact, Josh Lamet here looking at the angle on the D side, but no one else out wide. And so it looks like Tampa Bay Damage, that must have been an inadvertent horn. Must have been. Because everyone's looking confused. Anytime you see all the players stand up on the field from both teams looking confused, then it looks like it's an inadvertent horn. Not exactly sure, though. But Damage is not, they haven't walked off yet. They're looking over at the rest like, hey, man, what's going on here? Same with Edmonton Impact. And the Damage is saying that Impact hit it. And I'm sure Impact's saying Damage hit it. Let's check in with Lauren. Maybe she knows.
Thanks, Maddie. I'm not sure about this one right now, but coming off of the field, Dynasty was super heated and pissed about how the last few points have been going. Marcelo Margot was trying to keep their spirits up, saying the best Xfactor can do is push them into overtime, but Blake Garber was screaming that they will not go into overtime. It's unacceptable, and they need to close it out now. So they're going to come out hungry. We'll see if Xfactor can tie it up, send it on to overtime, or get 2 quick points here. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to be back after this commercial break.
You've come a long way.
Yeah, so it looks like it was an inadvertent horn, which means that the players that are left alive out on the field will restart.
That's totally going to toast Impact's dominant field position that they just had right there.
Yeah, it'll be 5-on-4, one body advantage for Impact as they were able to get that kill. So yeah, it does definitely hurt Impact and the ground that they had taken. But, you know, I mean,
that's weak.
It's pretty weak.
That sucks. If you're Impact,
if I was Impact, like, man, we had such good field position.
And we had the body advantage.
G.
They still have the G.
Yeah.
They still have the kill, but they don't have the position anymore. They're going to have to retake that, but they will have 20% more firepower as only 4 bodies alive right now for Damage. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go, so can Damage
see, and this is what happens here. Impact decides to change their game plan and not go back out to the corner, which they had. Damage does go out to the corner, and they make it.
And that's going to, and tripling up that back center.
Because they're trapped in there now.
Yeah, for Impact, and they're trapped. Just like you said, Rab, they're trapped because Damage was able to make it out wide.
And whoever's the third wheel back there, I would just hide, especially Kent, until you can find a way to get out of it, because that's just bad news right there. 3 in the back.
If I was Justin Cornell, who's sitting, I think, in the bottom, he's the third guy in the bottom, I'd be like, look, you guys need to get out of here, man. Seriously. You can't have 3 guys in this bunker. Oh, but looks like Jason Edwards, getting shot out of his bunker. And that must have come from Justin Rabakoff. He was the only guy out wide enough to be able to get that shot in on Jason. So nice job by Justin Rabakoff. Now we're looking at Brian Smith on your screen for Tampa Bay Damage. So now they're down 2 bodies. And Impact slowly but surely getting back the ground that they had taken before the inadvertent horn. Smith still on your screen. Now we're looking at Snake side. Cornell and Bougere.
Impact actually able to get out of there. Helped that they had this, the body advantage. Otherwise, that'd have been tough. But Jacob's still alive in that corner.
Timmy shooting across the field at the snake side at Justin Rabikoff, but here comes the third body towards the Dorito side for impact. They definitely have the advantage over here. Here comes Brian Smith. He's going to start attacking up the snake side. He blocks off.
Justin Rabikoff gets him trying to keep out, but hey, you know, like Smith knows they're down. Time's running. They got to do something. So
And there goes that towel. So conceding the point is Tampa Bay Damage with 1 minute and 29 seconds left. It's going to give another point to Impact. So it's going to be very tough for Tampa Bay Damage here to tie this up and take it to overtime. And it's, you know, still a little bit of time left. Let's take another look at Brian Smith trying to make this move in the center. So just like Rab, like you were talking about, Smith's making this move even though he's down bodies because they have no time. They're down points, they're down bodies. Somebody's got to try to make something happen. Is it a low percentage play? Absolutely. But do you have to still roll those dice? Yeah, absolutely. You have no choice.
You have no choice.
What are you going to do, sit in your bunker and let Impact just
no, you got to go make something. Maybe if he gets through, gets a couple guys, and you never know. But him going is better than just sitting back there, which we saw quite a few times over the weekend.
Yeah, a few times. Nothing horrible. I didn't see any glaring, terrible errors where I was just shaking my head in disbelief at, you know, guys dropping the ball, just letting time expire. A few times, but so right now, Dynasty, as we heard that update from Lauren, was very angry at themselves for letting Xfactor get back into this game as they had a 2-point lead, and now Xfactor is poised to try to tie this game up here.
30 seconds.
So just about 30 seconds before the start of this next point. You can see Xfactor getting ready to roll. Bernaccia is just staring downfield over here. That's number 21, Billy Bernaccia,
20 seconds.
looking at that snake side, thinking about what he needs to do right now to help his team. And this is gonna be tough for Xfactor.
10 seconds.
So there's Roberts, Goff, Kovar, and Montemayor.
1:28 left.
Goff wheels his gun around, and Xfactor, big break, taking both the snake on the pretty much on the delay and both back corner bunkers on each side of the field.
And it looks like Archie Montemayor is going to work again. He gets one, he gets two. Here comes Colt Roberts into the 50 Dorito. 3 bodies left alive, 2 of them are stuck in the back center. Both of those 2 walk off.
Todd, Dynasty getting destroyed pretty much off the break by Xfactor in this one.
And there goes Archie Montemayor through the middle of the field. Colt Roberts able to come through.
And like we said, guys, doubling up back center, playing defensive, knowing they're coming. I don't know. I don't agree with that one.
The only way that works, as we've seen so many points played out here, the only way that works is you have to make those shots. Dynasty didn't make any of their off-the-break shots. They let Xfactor take both corner back bunkers and get out wide, which dooms you if you're playing tight and you're doubling up those spots in the center. And they didn't shoot Kovar, making the delay to the snake.
Those corners were bait, man. If you make it there, you create the spacing, and you have the field position, and you're in great shape. Even if you don't make it, it allows Archie Montemayor to come up the middle of the field, cut across as Archie goes through and bunkers out the last bodies. But Archie Montemayor on the break, coming to that big Dorito, shooting out the snake side right away.
Let's get an audio update from Lauren as we start this next point.
During that timeout, Coach Ryan Brand knew that Dynasty was looking out for Derek Jordan. So he sent Derek Jordan out there for 6 players to confuse them, telling him only to come back when there was 15 seconds left, and it worked out in their favor. Back to you.
Hey, what a crafty play by Coach Ryan Brand to try to ice Dynasty out. It definitely worked. So here we go now. Big moves by Damage. Not a lot of time left and down by 3, so playing very reckless in the center. Paul Everett, but he gets chopped up trying to get past the 50-yard line. Off that, though, Jason Edwards able to get up here on the D side of the field. You can see there on your screen, right-hand side. And there's Everett, the dead man walking off. And it looks like that's Cortez, the rookie for this for Tampa Bay Damage. Something's wrong with his, looks like his tank. He might have dove in and broke one of the pieces of his gun. You gotta be careful when you're diving in, man. Keep that gun up.
Look at that move. Jason Edwards jumping over to get to the middle of the field. Makes it.
Jason Edwards doing all he can, just battling. Now backing way up, trying to get a shot in. on Nick Laval over here on the Dorito side, trying to protect himself and see the whole field.
No time left, man. This game's over. As Jason finally gets picked up. So nice work by Edmonton Impact. There's Nick Laval on your screen, just holding that lane down and just rolling his gun, putting pressure on Damage and trying to let these last 10 seconds. Cortez, just for pride, needs to try to make something happen here.
Gotta go.
You can't be a rookie and die in your and be alive in your spot when time expires. I know he might have had some sort of gun issues, the worst possible time to have gun issues. You're trying to get it, they're giving you a spin. You're down points and down on time. And had to do a little surgery on his gun when he dove into a spot, so.
30 seconds.
So here we go. Same situation as yesterday. Do we see go overtime game, or do we see play it safe, or do we see attack?
Well, it's, you know, quick points go down purely on how many bodies come off the break. So that's when you see quick points. And Dynasty has had a real bad run of luck here, not shooting guys off the break, getting a penalty the past couple points to let Xfactor get back in this match, and it's all tied up at 5 apiece here with under a minute to play. Now this time, Xfactor doesn't risk very many bodies, but they lose 2 off the break, so this might be the Dynasty's opportunity, but they lose a body as well too. It's going to be up to Ryan Greenspan over here on the D side. Can he get another kill? And here we go, 37 seconds left, off to the races. Looks like Kyle Spica up the center. Kyle Spica blowing open the entire field on that run up the center, but it looks like going to be a minor penalty on Dynasty, and then Ryan Greenspan seeing that there was a penalty, and he's going to get up and hang it.
Yeah, that's going to be a no point. I thought I saw Kyle Spica with a hit on him back in this Snakeside Temple over here on the inside. And then he ran in and right away charged down the field, went and pushed the buzzer.
It's going to be a no point.
So, did you guys see that? Did you see Kyle Spica?
I didn't. I was looking at the other side of the field. So let's look at this replay. There's Kyle Spica, and he is trying to scan the field for the last bodies left alive to hang that. He had enough time to check himself. That's the unfortunate thing here if you're a Dynasty fan.
Maybe not. Maybe that wasn't a hit. I mean, on his leg. Maybe it was on his tank. Let's find out from the referee.
2 minutes.
So the referee still, you can see Spica in there pleading his case. Spica trying to figure out by the referees, you know, he was given that a hand extended and a hand on the head is the signal for eliminated player. The safe signal, just like in baseball, same in paintball, that means safe. But so that motion that Spica was making essentially meant that, you know, he felt that somebody was, the referee was calling one of those guys out. Alex Frazier is letting the referees have a piece of his mind. You know, I mean, that was a really good point from San Diego Dynasty after a slew of bad points to throw that game back into Xfactor's favor to tie it up. And then Dynasty comes out and has a really good point. And now,
Matty, they're saying
Alex Frazier is flipping out right now.
The referees are saying unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike conduct?
Yeah, on the penalty. That would have been Spica. I mean,
I don't agree with that at all. Unsportsmanlike conduct, get out of here, man. I mean,
well, we don't know. Did he say something? Did he?
So what? So what did he? You didn't punch him. He didn't. How many times did he shoot him? It's ridiculous. I do completely disagree with that. If that's the penalty, if it's unsportsmanlike conduct in the quarterfinals, we're playing. That is. If that is the penalty, I completely disagree with that penalty. That is a horrible call.
30 seconds.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, so Ryan Greenspan and Alex Frazier are screaming at CJ Traub over here. And to be honest, I feel their pain, you know? I mean, I've been in that situation before. I've been in a situation where a call that has nothing to do with what happened in the actual gameplay with some ticky-tacky, you know, something like that. I mean, come on, man. That is...
Yeah. You know what's crazy, though, too, is you saw 2 referees throw flags. You know,
so
like
two
different guys.
Let the guys play
flags.
the game. Let the players play the game.
Hey, it's paintball, man. You know, you shoot people with paintball guns. 28 seconds left to go here.
We'll see if we'll see what the paintball gods decide. But off the break, we're getting back into this match here. Under 20 seconds to go. Unless a bunch of bodies come off, we're going to head to an overtime. 5-5. 12 seconds. And looks like body coming off for Dynasty, and three bodies coming off, 2 bodies coming off for Xfactor, so still 3 players alive. And we are going to see an overtime point. So Ryan Greenspan is still just screaming at the referees and losing his mind.
No points over 2 minutes.
Ryan Greenspan is flipping out right now on the paintball field.
I'd be flipping out too. I would be flipping out too if it was an again, but it is what it is. The die is cast, and we can't change it now. So
they can continue to argue.
They're going to argue, and you always got to be careful because it's.
Because if you keep,
you don't want to get another penalty.
Yeah, you don't want to
keep
get
pushing,
another penalty.
Yeah, you keep pushing the
You're
rest,
right.
then you got to go back out there.
Yeah, you want to be. You got to be careful. You know, we've seen this situation before, so it's going to reset here. We're going to head to an overtime point.
Hey, we watched it.
So here we go. Going to be a. Let's check in with Lauren here as we reset before this overtime point.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that was complete craziness.
Yeah, well, I guess we don't have a Lauren update, so a little bit of craziness here. Well, you know, it wouldn't be paintball if we didn't have some sort of craziness, right?
You know, we
That's
watched
why
it.
it's
We watched it.
entertaining.
We watched it
That's
yesterday.
why you guys are paying your money to watch.
Yeah,
'Cause
we're
it's fascinating. Oh, what a crazy story here. So hopefully we can get a legit break and get a really good point here to determine who will win this match and progress in this tournament.
Can we see that replay again? Because we had a pretty good angle from the back over there.
So
it was overshooting, is what I guess.
Well, that's if we could chalk that replay up, I'd like to see where looks like where the overshooting was. And my thing with overshooting, just on general principle, is I think that refs should only call overshooting if a guy is truly excessively shot. So here's Kyle Spica and Yosh Rao finishing off this point. It's Archie Montemayor, and Archie caught maybe 2 or 3 extra balls that I could see.
Well, we had it from the backside too. I think they might be giving.
I mean, Archie did catch extra bonus balls. He was dead and he had to catch a couple. But from my position, at least on that replay, realistically, how many shots did he get hit with?
I don't know.
Maybe 3, 4.
That's why I wanted to see the other replay that we had the first time from the backside. I think they might be giving Dynasty another penalty when Ryan Greenspan came off the last point. Came back over and got in the face of the referee.
Yeah, I think
gave him some harsh words. Ryan Greenspan might be getting the penalty.
Ryan is flipping out over here. You can probably actually hear. He's yelling so loud you could probably hear the audio.
Hey, we said it.
Dynasty
if you're
might be
gonna egg
starting
on,
with 4. You know what though? Every time something like this happens to Dynasty, they win.
Yeah.
Dynasty's. Actually, Dynasty's starting with 3 bodies. They gave him a major. They gave him a major for Ryan Greenspan. Yelling at the referee. So 3 bodies for Dynasty on the breakout, and they lose. Nope, he's still in.
Brandon Short over here towards the snake side, and we'll see if Dynasty can try to even this body count up. Huge advantage for Xfactor right now with 5 minutes on this overtime point, as Dynasty getting another major unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for going at the referees after that overshooting call.
Wow. I mean, I don't even want to say it.
So getting into this point here.
Ryan came over, went straight up to the referee and yelled at him, said some bad words that you're not allowed to say on TV, and then the referee decided that he wasn't too happy about that. Got a major penalty here for this overtime, and there goes Derek Jordan getting shot on the bump. Dynasty trying to even it up here. Xfactor making moves, getting over onto the snake side. Billy Bernaccia alive in that snake temple.
So now it's 3-on-4, still with the advantage for Xfactor, and Colt Roberts trying to make his move towards the D side of the field, and he does, makes it out clean. So we'll see if San Diego Dynasty can preserve their chances here at this tournament, or will it be a come from behind victory for San Antonio Xfactor here, as they were down deep, but somehow found a way to get back in this match. And then with that penalty on Dynasty earlier on, if you guys are just tuning in, man, we're in the overtime point right now, and Dynasty had an unsportsmanlike conduct overshooting penalty, it looked like, and then they got another penalty after disagreeing with that call to start this point. 3-on-4 5.
And
it looks like
Xfactor gets into the snake and pinches out Yosh Rao. He's the first body to go. Marcelo Margot over here still in the Dorito side corner. Colt Roberts trying to get sneaky. He's in the cake over here. Kovar goes in behind Bernaccia into the snake to put more pressure on Marcelo. He's really feeling it. He's having played outside.
And here comes
the Dorito.
Bernaccia all the way down the snake side on your screen. It looks like he is going to clear out. No, there's still Marcelo Margot trying to wheel and deal against 3 bodies. We've seen Marcelo pull these out before, but can he do it? He's not going to do it. Colt Roberts is going to run him down. So Dynasty will be eliminated, and San Antonio Xfactor is going to advance here in this tournament. So let's check out this replay here.
Here's Brandon Short trying to look across the field, and he gets bunkered right in the back from Billy Bernaccia coming out of the snake. Turns around, sees Billy.
Point approved.
And San Antonio Xfactor down, what was it, 2 points?
I think they were
down
down
3 points.
I think they were down 3
Comes
points.
storming back with some crazy plays up the Dorito side. Even the game up. It comes under a minute. Dynasty comes out with a game, and almost Dynasty comes through, blows the horn, or is about to end the game with under 30 seconds left. Bunker the life out of Archie Montemayor.
Yeah.
Get 2 refs throw minor flags in the air. They get an overshooting penalty to make it a no point with 4 or 5 bodies left alive.
Yeah, there was a lot of bodies left. I couldn't
And
see
then-
exactly how many bodies they had left alive, but they definitely had a good portion of their team still alive in the end of that chaotic point. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly. If this is with Dynasty,
I
parental
am here with
advisory.
Colt
Just
Roberts
let
and
you know
Billy
now.
Bernaccia. Man, guys,
Yeah.
that was probably one of the most important matches you have played all weekend. Going into that overtime, what was running through your mind?
Oh, man, we knew that we were up 2 bodies off the break, so we're like, play smart, controlled paintball. That's what we've been doing all tournament, and that's what's been working for us. So we weren't risking anybody. We're taking slow bumps. Once we got in our spots, we were making our shots count, and we came out with the victory.
Colt, when you knew Marcelo was in that corner bunker on the Dorito side, what ran through your mind to know you could run through and get him?
I just wanted to try and blind myself out with him. I knew that the Snakeside Temple got shot, so I knew I had kind of a free seam there, and I was just blinding myself out with him in the corner.
You guys had a 3-point deficit at one point. Talk to me about how important mental stamina is to make a comeback like that to make it into the semis.
We never give up. We don't care what the score is. Every time we walk on the field, whether it's 6-0, 0-6, not in our favor, we always play 0-0 paintball.
Talk to me a little bit about Coach Ryan Brand, because he made a really smart call there to get that tied point when he sent Derek Jordan out there to kind of mess with Rusty Glaze. Talk to me about Coach Ryan Brand and why he makes such an impact on the team.
Well, you know, Derek had been running D1 a lot, and I haven't been the first Dorito guy this whole match, so they didn't want to give my position away because I was going to run the corner at that point. So I just kind of sent him out there to kind of get him calling maybe a D1 play, and then I ran corner, and we brought Archie underneath and ended up winning the point pretty quickly there.
All right, well, you may have had a slower start, but you won. You played smart and strong. Congratulations, guys. Stay tuned. We have more really exciting matches coming up.
It's not the-